Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 29 of this Let's Play Europa Universalis 4 as the custom nation of Stormwind. We are still at war with the Netherlands. They are being slowly but surely defeated. We are beginning to occupy their lands. We have a very positive war score, somewhat because of provinces we control, but also because of our rather potent blockade. So this war shouldn't be too much longer. They do have a fair amount of manpower, but as soon as Antwerp here has fallen, we should be able to access the rest of their country, because that's just the fort that's blocking everything else. And then after that, we should be able to finish off their army pretty easily. They are on their own in this war, as are we, except for our colony. So not too much left in our way there. Colonies over here do continue to grow. Has this one actually expanded at all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, they are now using a colonist. So this is one of the reasons I kind of left these guys alone. Once they are a colonial nation, they do get a colonist as part of their ideas, I think. Let's see. No, they get a global settler increase, but they do have expansion ideas, which does give them a colonist, so they can expand on their own without me having to do anything. So I could concentrate my efforts down here. And this should soon be a colony, as soon as one of these two is finished. So it'll be that one first. That'll be the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, Aragon is still massively expanding over here. They've just taken out a bunch of the natives, so they are gaining power pretty rapidly. The other thing we need to keep an eye on is Cap Verde down here. We definitely need to take some of this land. Ouagadougou is unfortunately at war with them, so they may not last too much longer, which would be a pity because Cap Verde would be very easy to take right now and Ouagadougou would be much more difficult, simply because they have a lot more troops. What is the difference in military tech? It's not that big, it's only 4 technologies. But that difference will of course grow, but we want to get here before any of the other Europeans because we want to control some of this coastline, because the Ivory Coast is what controls where trade goes, and we of course want to push all the trade coming from the Americas and from Asia, which all comes through the Ivory Coast. It's a ridiculously important place. And then we can shove it into the English Channel, where we would then pick it up and make lots of money out of. So we will probably need to start thinking about how to expand there as soon as this war is done, basically. And that will likely involve having to send our light ships down there, justifying a trade conflict, much like we did with the Netherlands, and then going from that point onwards. Anyway, let's finish off the Dutch. No, we don't want that peace treaty. They are marching down into Brabant, which we could intercept. We have an 18,000 man stack. We should probably send the whole group, just because their armies are actually better than ours, because of their ridiculous morale thanks to defense ideas. So we'll break the siege. They are already locked into that move. There shouldn't be a river crossing here. No, no river crossing, I don't think. Oh, there was. I thought it usually told you on the cross swords. We are now beginning to beat them. They have increased serfdom, which is actually hitting their morale quite hard. It's only prestige that's playing against ours. So because we have sheer weight of numbers, this should be a fairly easy fight. We just need to keep whittling them down so they don't ever have the chance to reinforce to the strongest possible, because then they would probably stand more of a chance of actually doing some damage to us. Who are you guys? You are the cogs. You can sit in port and mothball you to save some money. We don't really want to get another loan out at this point. And we really need to start working on paying off some of that debt. We are currently paying 10 ducats a month in interest. 18 loans of 61 possible. So we're still safe, economically speaking. Yes, Picardy is still fighting their war down here. That being Namur. So Picardy and Aragon. It's only because Aragon that they're actually going to win this. Picardy really are quite weak, like surprisingly so. We have an election. We want another diplomat. Except he was our... No, he wasn't our general. That's okay. We'll just see what kind of a commander he is. He is decent, actually. So if we're forced to move to Brabant again, which we are, we'll switch commanders here because that'll give us another siege leader. Aha! And we have now successfully got rid of End of Religious Turmoil, which was the thing which was increasing the amount of rebellions we were getting quite dramatically. And we get free stability for it. Fantastic. So we've got 90% religious unity now, which is important. And I wanted to get that, especially before we take on these lands, because these are, I believe, Catholic. Yep. And their high development would drop us below 90 again. Probably quite convincingly. Okay, we're going to wait until they actually arrive in Antwerpen. Oh, it's their 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So yes, he is definitely better. Okay, they are locked in. We will march and intercept. Boom. And another victory. Significant war score. We did a lot of damage that time. Killed a lot of men. And now this siege should be one tick closer. See, it went from 28 to 14 because our leader has a siege 1, which the previous leader did not. No, Netherlands, I do not want a peace treaty with you, and you should really be running out of manpower now. Let's take a look. They have got only 1,000. Excellent. So we've burnt that down from like 12,000. We are relying very heavily on mercenaries, of course, but we'll disband them, and that should resolve at least part of our money issues once that is done. Disagreeing advisor. Lose the Inquisitor or lose prestige and gain some power. Well, take the power, please. Thank you. Oh, we're going to have to take another loan, aren't we? It's expected. It's totally expected. They have a lot of artillery. 5 infantry, 5 artillery. Well, we have taken a lot of damage here, but this is going to be a very worthwhile conquest. So we'll wait until they arrive. We have 16,000, so I am going to leave some men behind just to keep that siege going. I'll wait until they're locked in now, and we'll intercept again. I should have consolidated my front row. No matter. Another crushing victory. Back to Antwerp, finish that siege. We'll group you together, we'll reject that, we'll consolidate here. Shift consolidate, so we're keeping these empty regiments. Probably don't have to do that. In fact, I could probably get rid of these infantry ones so I don't have to keep paying for them. Yes, I'm going to do that because I have no manpower. So we'll create a new unit and we'll move all of the zeros there and then delete them. We'll keep the rest, because we want to keep these even if they are under strength. These are expensive to replace. These, not so much. So we have to go down here to get rid of them. That's fine. Gone. We extend that loan. Okay, 42% done. As soon as this is finished, we will go and crush their army once and for all. Someone else at war with the Netherlands? No, just us. They're on the move again. Detach. Wait until they're locked in. Move. You can tell they're locked in because a little padlock appears down there. And that means they cannot then change their mind about where to go. Another victory. We are taking like 1,000. We are killing... Well, killed all their... cavalry that time. And they are definitely out of horses, so if they are building more troops, they will be mercenaries. So they've got some more men being built up there. That's what that little animation means. Ulster has been converted. Marvellous. Okay, so now there is a call for peace. We've been at low war weariness for a long time, war enthusiasm for a long time, and people are now saying they want peace. And basically what that will do is increase your war exhaustion fairly dramatically. The longer that goes on, the more hefty that war exhaustion will go up. So we need to bring this war to a conclusion. We should take Antwerp very, very shortly. Come on, this tick. Curses. 49%, so 50-50. If we didn't get it last time, we should statistically get it this time. They have a very good general. 4-2-3. Wow. So all the times I've been beating them. Basically, whenever you lose a battle, you tend to get more land tradition. It's your generals learning from their mistakes, essentially. Okay. And locked in. We'll consolidate. Just so we have a solid front line to take down their weakened one. Burgundy has accepted peace with Picardy. Burgundy will cede Nevers to Picardy. So Picardy has grown once again. Ooh, we are taking some heavier casualties this time. We should still win, their morale is lower than ours. And their artillery is down the front line. Boom, victory. But we took significantly more casualties. We need to be careful. We'll shift consolidate. Yeah, we lost a whole artillery unit and a whole cavalry unit that time. We still have a lot of mercenaries, so we should keep reinforcing even though we have 0 manpower. Finally, Antwerpen has fallen. So let's go and finish their army off with our full strength, while they're low on morale too. And then I should be able to go to Holland or Utrecht, wherever they run to. -2 penalty with their good general, which is unfortunate. Right, we're going to Antwerp. Since cross swords there means we will intercept, and there we go, stack wipe. Boom, dead. Right, we will leave enough men here to siege that. We will also go to Zeeland, which is their capital. They are still building troops, so I might go and stick some men here just to crush them as soon as they appear. Stick some men in Utrecht too. Not enough men to finish the siege. We'll just need to wait until some of these are done. Call for peace is now at plus 0.06. That was, when it started, 0.01. So we need to get this over and done with. We can probably detach some of you. Yes, we can. We'll send you to Lübeck. Natives have risen. That's unfortunate. Third is the smaller colony. Renewed some more loans. We have occupied Breda. So we'll send them to Utrecht, which is now enough. So that siege has now begun. Oh, and their navy has appeared. I need to send in mine. Go, 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 go. These are only light ships. They will take a beating. We defeated them. Good. However, at this stage I think I will unmothball you and stick you in there. You guys can go back to trade. Whoops. Lübeck. Good. You will need to repair. Nah, you're fine actually. Lost one ship, but we have taken some damage, roughly 100 as per usual, and I think we are now done converting. Yes, Essex is still being converted by the Centre of Reformation? No, yes. Wow, that's taking a really long time. But we are now done converting, which is great. We are now fully Protestant. Picardy has defeated Modena. Modena will give them income, so not taking land from them, and we should be a nice shade of blue. Marvellous. So we should be fully stable now. Reformation is done. Picardy has defeated Gascogne. Gascogne will cede Le Bourd and Périgord. No, sorry, Le Bourd to Aragon, Périgord to Picardy. So they obviously had to offer land to Aragon to get them to actually join this war, which is unfortunate because that means Aragon is growing stronger. Call for peace is... Oh, it went away and then it came back again. I wonder why. That's good for us because it means that it's reset the counter. And this war is as good as over. In fact, what can I now demand from them? Because I definitely want that and that. Still quite like that, but it's going to cost me a small fortune in aggressive expansion, which quite frankly I cannot afford because I don't want to get into another war with Europe. I'll probably try and humiliate them and I'll take money. Oh, I can in fact do that. And they would accept. It's better than they would expect. War reparations? No. What do I need for that? A little bit more land. So we'll wait just slightly longer. We'll get the war reparations too, which should be a significant chunk of money, though actually quite a lot reduced because they'll be losing a massive amount of their trade income because we'll own their two most profitable trade centres. And we're making so much money. See, the Netherlands dropped down to just that. Yeah, our embargo is really hurting. Another loan. Rebels. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because they're attacking us. Oh, I might not be able to retreat. I've got more rebels there. Run away, run away. Yes. Yeah, it's just cavalry and artillery. That was never going to be good. But we'll let them deal with the rebels, so we just will ignore those two. We have one siege of Zeeland. This should give us what we need. Yes, it does. We can get a little bit more money from them. 300 ducats, fantastic. So we are taking Holland, we are taking Antwerp. Just to double check that this is the one with the centre of trade. It is. And Holland I know is. We are forcing them to give up 10% of reparations. We are humiliating them. We're taking money. We're suffering 22 aggressive expansion, but it's not enough to make anyone into a coalition. We gain 9 prestige, they lose 2, so that'll hurt a bit. And we should be over the 50 power projection again, which is very nice. Send it and be done with this. Marvellous. And we can repay a loan. That's good timing. That was a really, 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 really expensive war, but worth it. Now, we are going to do a few things here. We are going to increase autonomy because that will reduce the unrest. We don't want to deal with rebellions here. We'll toggle off all of those forts. It'll save us a bit more money. We're making money even without having reduced the morale. In fact, let's have a look at our trade share here. Has it recalculated? Yeah, we are getting 74%, almost 3/4 of the amount of trade in this territory now, which is giving us a massive 26 ducats a month. That is almost, well, that is double our taxation income right now. Huge, absolutely huge. And that's with half of our navy still not actually doing anything. Send you back to Essex, and we will send you to Lubeck. Once things are stable, we'll start thinking about Cape Verde, whatever you want to call it. What's the other thing I was going to do? Yes. Okay, autonomy has been raised in both. We actually want the church to be in control of both of these, because the church, I believe, should give you local unrest -2, local missionary strength +2. You will notice that both of these are still Catholic, so we want them to be easier to convert, because they're very high development, so they will be tough. So we'll give both of these to the clergy for the time being. Let's just check the estates. Balance is still good, they're not overly influential. And they are in fact giving us all of their powers because we have over 60% loyalty, which is great, because that means that, yeah, we get the missionaries and the unrest. Good. So that will make this place much easier to convert. It'll take 10 months, but I want to core them first, depending on what our war exhaustion is like. I might start converting one of them. 10 months, that's fine. Group our armies together, we'll split off the mercenaries. Why can't we remove them? Oh, it's because we're next to them. I really hope those rebels don't come into my lands. That would be really annoying. So let's group you all up again to do that. Split them off. Send you in the first ship to Essex. We will mothball you, so you're not being paid for. We will reduce army maintenance. So we are now making quite a lot of money, so we can repay those loans off. And those should be the mercenaries, which I can now disband. Boom. Should make... yeah, that's not right. 11, so we saved another 2 ducats for doing that. Put you on the ship. Move you to Essex. As soon as Holland is converted, they will be Protestant, so they will have less of a heretics penalty. Unrest is currently 16, which is high, but it's not something we cannot deal with. And both of these do have forts, so they should be easy enough to hold. We could, I think, pay off another loan. Yes, we can. We should. Good. And that is everyone home. Put you in Oxfordshire, no, we'll leave you in Essex. So we need more manpower, desperately. We still have 8,000 outstanding. We need 34 for the full man pool. So at least until our army is reinforced and we have the infantry cavalry ratio sorted out again, because we lost a lot of infantry. We won't do anything about Cape Verde until then. Ouagadougou did take some more land up here, I think, so it's only this little bit left. Now, to get a trade war, they need at least 10% of this node, I think. And unfortunately, they won't have that. How can I see what they have? Cape Verde has 8%. Oh, it's just too low. So I cannot justify the trade war there. I think they need 10% and I need 20. In order to get the 20, that would be easy for me. I just send the light ships down there. But they don't have enough, so I cannot do that anymore. I'm going to have to do a no casus belli war, unfortunately, which will cost me the 2 stability. It'll be worth it though, because we need the hold down there. Thankfully, none of the other Europeans have taken any of this land. I could take some of Angola, I guess. they're big and united, you see by the name. No, Cap Verde would definitely be the easiest. Otherwise I will have to go for Wagadu, but they will have a very large army. And they'll be fighting in their home territories, so yeah, it's just not a good time. Picardy wants military access. Of course, Picardy, of course. You can mothball. Need a new rival. Marienburg, Venetia, Calabria, or Aragon. Well, definitely Venetia. Because those guys are nasty. I still kind of want an alliance with them. How close am I? Oh, actually not too far. But we have improved relations as much as we can. I'll stop doing that. Am I at my relation limit? No, I'm one under. Of course, because we got the vassal annexed. So we have 1, 2, 3 allies. And actually, if we make them a... Do I want to make them a protectorate? No, I really want to take the land myself. Ignore that. Ship costs are cheaper, and because I've taken those two, I should have more ship force limit now. In fact, just more force limit overall. Still not enough. I'm currently 8 over my limit. So I could have another 11 going by my rule. No, 9, sorry. Okay. I think it's time to go up to speed 4 again, because this is just recovery time once more. We want to keep the fleet maintenance high, because you need high maintenance for your trade ships to be fully effective, which is why we're mothballing the ships we're not currently using. Oh man. Okay. Speaking of which, we're ahead of time in that, so we could get a Diplo Maritime, which is the extra repair. Or we could wait until next year and pop this straight away, which I think we will do. That increases our colonial range, which is kind of irrelevant at this point, and our trade range, which is relevant. We should also have a look at where we're feeding money in. We've got Holland already. Marvellous. Let's start in Antwerp. What's the war exhaustion? Still high. So, what are the rich nodes? We are already pulling a lot of money from there and from there. Next one really would be Ivory Coast, but we still can't reach it. How far are they? 577. We can, however, reach Safi now, which is good. It really is Ivory Coast that we need to control. I mean, we could start pushing money out of, say, the Baltic into Lubeck and then Lubeck to there. But we need more control over Lubeck before we do that. Speaking of which, no, they are all protecting already. Essex has gone to Reformed. And they are going to have religious zeal for 30 years. So I won't be able to convert them for a long time. We are making a lot more money. And yeah, you can really see the power of trade right now. Just the amount of money we're making. And that's with the huge autonomy, which I think reduces trade power. Yeah, minus 36% trade power. And these two both need to go to the burghers once they have been converted and are happy once again. So we have a 0 unrest here in the Netherlands because they are now Protestant and because they are autonomy increased. The double whammy is very effective. And this colony is almost done. Fantastic. That'll be another colonial nation here. So that one was Care Tempest. So we need to name this one. Which will be Care Fireflow, I think. That was the other city name. And then after this I began running out of names, so I'll have to make them up. Although I still have Stormguard. Oh, I should have done the first one, Stormguard. Sorry, Aizul. So that was just a bit of history. When the Guild of Stormwind started, it was actually Ultima Online, but we didn't really meet at peak until Shadowbane. And we were a 2-guild system, so like the leadership were in Stormwind, and then the main guild were in Stormguard, So all the cities and things were owned by the Wind group, so we could really control it and stop spies. I need to send another colonist. Right, we probably do want to continue growing this area, right? Yes, because that's where all the trade feeds out of. Or we could finish this colony up here. How close were we? 1, 2, 3. Need 2 more. Oh, Cypatria is just so strong. I need to focus on this area. I might put one here just to kind of block them off from going down to this direction. I think I'll do that. Because we want both sides of the strait. You saw how important that was when we fought in Denmark. If we control both, we can still cross, even if we don't have naval superiority. Which is possible just by the sheer strength of Cypatria. If we have a fleet here in Europe fighting, then our colonists are going to have to deal with their own combat. Picardy no longer considers Gascogne a rival. We can repay another loan. Fantastic. Do it. Picardy has announced Brittany as a rival. Brittany is actually quite strong. Yeah, Europe is definitely beginning to solidify in fairly powerful countries, but it's still very messy here. I mean, Marienburg is a definite power. Lübeck probably is. Do we want another Diplo leader? Most likely, and we can actually go up in Diplo Tech. So we continue having the 20% trade efficiency, which is part of the reason we are making so much money. We're behind more in admin, and we are still doing military leader ideas and Diplo ideas. I especially want this one, because then we can really start churning out the light ships and controlling things. We just got the other merchant. Yeah, we'll stay with Diplo. Military is falling behind a little. Oh well, as long as the ships remain strong. Speaking of which, can I do some of those estate interactions? I believe I probably can. Yes, I can. See, if their influence is above 60, then you can get 100 Diplo power. It's like if it's below 60 you get 50, if it's above 60 you get 100, if it's above 80, I believe, then it's 150. And if it's 100%, I think you actually get 200. We want ships for war, definitely. So 5 galleons for free, well, for 10 loyalty, I'll take that. And then another 15 loyalty, which do we want to do? Because we're getting Diplo cost for that. Yes, we do. Because we're not, sorry, we're not doing the development, really. I'm not sure I can push you above 60. I mean, we can get you to 55 with the make generous donation as loyalty. Influence and loyalty can be increased through prestige by 10, but that's still only 54. It's not enough. We'll just demand it from you both. That'll get you to 55. Nope. Another technology. Admin. Why not? And once we're ahead of everything, then we can actually start doing the development game. Huzzah. It's been too long. Where are you being built? Gwynedd. Is Gwynedd where a shipyard is? No. No one wants to work. Lose a whole bunch of money. We'll wait until the end of the month so we actually are above that. And they won't force us to take out another loan. Except it will, won't it? Yeah. See if you can hold out for one more month, hopefully. And then you can take the money. Out the way. Do that. We lose a whole bunch of natives, or we lose some money. We would need to wait like 3 months for that one, unfortunately. Oh well, we'll have to lose the natives. Sounds so heartless. War exhaustion is almost done. Ah, we shouldn't have done the admin idea, because now we can't core. That was a mistake. I think I'm going, even though I have the advisor here, I'm going to focus on admin so we can catch up. Dutch peasants have entered Antwerp, but they move straight through into Kent, so that's fine. The Dutch really are having big problems with rebellions, probably because their war exhaustion was so high thanks to my blockades. Do I regret it? Hell no. National tax modifier, fine. You can still get an idea. Military, no, we need to save that for the military tech. So we remain parity. This is +1 cavalry shock, which is really quite important. Cavalry shock, of course, being their main weapon. And then they will be quite powerful again. So they would be 3.5 versus 2.25. So they have more damage overall, and 2.65. So yeah, cavalry will be really, really strong after that. For some reason, cavalry shot goes up when you get the flintlock musket. That never made sense to me. Surely that would be an improvement for infantry. I think they've just made up names of the technologies and not really linked them to what you actually get out of it. We've lost our admiral. Oh well. We get a free base tax or 10 prestige. Base tax? New ship, galleon, marvellous. Sail to Essex, and then join the fleet there. Speaking of which, I need to upgrade the caravels I have here. Quite a few of them, that'll be very expensive. No, we'll pay off the loans first. In fact, when's the next light ship? 19, that's 2 techs away. We're still way ahead of time though, so that's a long way off. Okay, that big ship has arrived. You need to be mothballed. Cancel, merge. You should be called the battle fleet. In fact, the battle fleet needs to be upgraded too. These are all Cossacks, except for the one galleon. Lots of things to spend money on is basically the name there. We are first in Diplo. No surprise, because of our massive fleet and trade income. Admin, we're doing pretty well. Military, we're terrible, but that's because our army is so small. And it's this horrible event again. Renewed loan. Lubeck has a civil war. What a shame. It couldn't have happened to a nicer group of people. Bastards. Anyway, I think we are going to have to end it there. We are reaching our time. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any tips, advice or comments, please do leave a message below this video and I will read it and get back to you. It's always good reading them, so please do keep them coming. I will see you for the next episode. Goodbye.